Today on Steve's Makerspace, it's a pattern maker in Gamecraft. Hi everybody, Steve from Steve's Makerspace, and today we are in Gamecraft and I have some fun things to show you. Okay, this is the first pattern maker I made. Then I made this pattern maker. And it uses the same parts as this pattern maker over here. And then I made this pattern maker. And this one. Then I made this. And this. Which I am very proud of. I think it looks awesome. So in a minute I'm going to show you how I made all these things in Gamecraft. But if you have liked this so far, if you think this is cool, please like this video, consider subscribing to my channel, ring that bell so you get notifications. Alright, let's get to how I made these things in Gamecraft. So first off, let's get a behind the scenes look at what's going on. I've got this. You may recognize this little contraption from some of my kinetic art. It's got 2 motors and 2 free axles. So it's creating some somewhat random motions. And there are all these on-state triggers that this thing is triggering. So this trigger right here is going to send a square of red color to a 4-block text block right here. So the trigger goes to this console block, which has the red offset color here, and that's going to that text block. The trigger is also going to a NOT gate, which goes to this console block, and this console block is deleting the text. So it starts off with a space in quotes and then done. And then when you look at it again, the quotes are disappeared. But that causes a blank to appear on the text block. So if this is triggered, you get a red square. If it's not triggered, if there's nothing blocking this, then you get the red square deleted. So this is going to text block 1, which is here, I believe. Yeah, that's text block 1. And then this one is going to text block 2, which is here. And then if you go farther in, say this one back here, this is going to text block 25, which is row 2, column 5, which is somewhere over here. I'm not sure if this is the right one. No, that's 14. Well, anyway, so I made this. First I made a row of this by hand. So that's what I made here. Then I did a copy paste. So let me show you the copy paste of this. So if I copy this like so, control, now I can do like this and paste. There we go. And then I have to go, because these have the same numbers, right? This is text block 2, and this is also going to be text block 2, unfortunately. So then I have to go in and change the number of the text block that this is referring to, and also the number of the text block over here. So that I did that. So I would copy paste, change these numbers, then copy paste again, Control V, and then I can paste another one, and then change all the numbers, and continue doing that until I had 6 columns of these things. And then I just made sure that that worked. So at that point all I had was this square about like this, right? Something like that. And then I just tested that to see how that worked, and that worked fine. Then I copied this entire text block. So if I just copy all of this like so, control copy, now I have my whole panel of text blocks, and what I can do is I can rotate that with the roller ball. So now I've rotated it and I can paste it here. and now I'm getting a spiraling effect, and then I rotate it again one more time, and now I'm pasting it here, and now I'll rotate it one more time, and now I'm going to paste it here. And that is what I did to get this. So for this one, this text block here, text block 1, let's see, if you rotate this, then text block 1 would be here, I believe. Yep. And then text block 1 is also right around maybe here. Yep, found it. And then text block 1 is also over here. There we go. And that's pretty much it. That's how I made this one. So then I copied this panel over to here. So this panel right here is exactly the same as that first panel over there. If I back up a little bit and we can watch that first panel, you'll see they're exactly the same. So after getting this panel here, I couldn't just copy the entire panel over to here in this case, because what I wanted in this one was more of a quilt-like pattern rather than a spiraling pattern. So what I had to do in this case was to copy a strip like this, copy that, and then I rotate it. I'm going to do the roller ball, so now it's rotated, and then I can paste here, right there. So then I do that again, and control, and now come over here, rotate 180 degrees, and then paste. So this one is divided into 4, and if you notice, the 4 are identical. So when I copy this, so if I control C this, I can rotate this 180 degrees, right? And I'm pasting it here, but then I'm also going to paste it up here, right about here. And then let me rotate it again 180 degrees, and I'm going to paste this here. So basically, in this case, if something appears in this corner, it should appear in that corner, and that corner, and that corner. And if something appears in this inside corner, it'll appear in this corner, and this corner, and this corner, right? So we'll watch that a little bit. See? So once I've got this one panel, so I start off with a 6x6 panel, right? And now I've got a 12x12. Once I have this, then I can copy the entire 12x12 panel and then just paste it here, here, and here. So that's what I did. So that is how I made this pattern maker. And I think I could probably make it even bigger if I wanted to, but I think this is good enough. So this one is available on the workshop as Pattern Maker 1, but I decided that this was just a little fast, and I wanted to make it slower. So let's move on to Pattern Maker 2. Okay, so here we are in my Pattern Maker 2 world, and you can see these are the same panels. All I've done is changed how the pattern is being made. So here you can see I've moved this from here to over here so that I could have a slower control. And I've also increased the amount of the blocks that are going through the triggers. So with that first one, I had to increase the motor speed in order to flip it around. And that was a problem because then it would go slow and then flip around, and then the pattern would be just whipping around. So this way, now it's on its side, I have more control. Now you might think this was a lot of work moving this from over here to over here, but it wasn't. I'll show you really quickly how I did it. We just hit the hand. We'll do Control X, And we'll place it over here. There we go. Boom. Wasn't that easy? And now I don't need this, so I'm going to get rid of it. And we'll just hit the delete button. Boom, it's gone. Love this copy paste, it's awesome. Now, one thing I didn't mention before when I was talking about these console blocks, the reason I had to do them like one row at a time, one column at a time, changing these text block numbers, is once you've placed all these, it's really hard to get in here. Now I can get, in this configuration, I can get to the console blocks like this, but if I'm over here, I am unable to change these console blocks in here. So I don't know if that's a problem that needs to be fixed or not, but it did create a challenge for me when I was building this, that I needed to make sure that I changed the console blocks one column at a time as I was building it, and not build all of this and then try to change all the console blocks. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about Pattern Maker 2. That's available in the workshop. Okay, here we are in Pattern Maker World 3. You can see these are the same text block screens, and all I've done is change the pattern again. This is the original pattern making machine. Now there are 3 more. So this one says blue. This one says yellow. All of these say yellow. Oh, and I got rid of the knots. I don't need the knots anymore since I'm just coloring on top. I just deleted all the knots, which was easy. Again, all I did was this, and then I had all the knots and all the extra console blocks were highlighted, and I just hit the delete button. Very simple to get rid of them all. Here we've got the reds, and here are the greens. So each of these, I used a little bit of math to make each of these motors go slightly different speeds and sometimes different directions, and I've also got these blocks in slightly different places. This one has this one here, and whereas this one has several blocks and this one only has one block here, and you can see that they're moving about just a little bit differently from each other. When they first start off, it's just the gold background, and eventually it will get filled in. Like so. Let's see, is it going to get... When will it get filled in? There we go. We finally got the last one filled in. It was a little challenging trying to make sure that the colors were kind of equally represented. Sometimes red was dominating, and then I had to adjust the machines to make red not be so dominant. So I think I've got a fairly good balance between the reds, blues, and yellows. So I really like watching this. This is very enjoyable, very soothing, very interesting to me. Now when I was designing this with the 4 different machines with the 4 different colors going to the same text blocks, I was concerned that I was going to crash the game because I'm having 4 different results going to one text block. Which one is it going to use? And I thought maybe it would confuse the computer and that it would just crash the game. But it didn't. I think what's happening is that the most recent one that I pasted is being used. Anyway, that is the Pattern Maker 3 colored, which is also available in the workshop if you want to download it and check it out. You're also welcome to play with it. Play with all these pattern makers some more. If you want to try changing the pattern some, you can change the speed of those or the number of blocks, or even add a whole nother color scheme to it. But if you upload it, just make sure you credit me, okay? Alright, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you've liked this video, give me a like, consider subscribing to my channel, ring that bell so you get notifications, give me some comments, I'd love to hear what you think, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now! Steve's Makerspace.